Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Snipes Dualtron Vibes. So, today, I think I'm gonna ask you guys to join me as I take a ride to my work. So, basically, this is just a little simple ride of my daily commute to work. You guys will get to see me riding on the road and enjoying a beautiful sunny day. But basically, while I'm on this ride, I think I want to share a little story with you guys as well. It's kind of personal, but I think it will give you guys a better context and understanding as to why I love this Dualtron Ultra 2 upgrade and why I'm so thankful to have it, and more importantly, why I don't think I could live my life without an electric scooter. Because for the most part, I need something to basically help me out almost every single day. And with that being said, this scooter actually does the trick. So as I get into my story and tell you guys as to more about why I need a scooter like this, yeah, please just bear with me. And again, because this story is quite personal, throughout this story you might hear me saying or at the end of the day. Sometimes I tend to do that when I'm nervous and I don't really like sharing too much personal things about me. But like I said, the story is quite personal. I may include a couple pictures to give you guys a little better understanding, but for the most part, yeah.
And now basically, this is where that story starts. In 2022, I had like a real bad accident with my foot, and basically, I have like a health history, so I have sickle cell anemia, and during the time of 2022, there was a lot of things happening with my foot at the time, and I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. So my foot happened to swell and balloon, and it was like that for a good couple weeks, maybe almost a few months. Basically, what I thought was going on wasn't really the issue, and I didn't really link all the stuff that was happening with my foot to my issue with sickle cell. So after my foot being so swollen for so long, long story short, like what happened was I had a couple toes amputated. So at the moment, as much as I try to laugh it off, my foot looks jacked. My foot is messed up. I'm not gonna lie, as much as I could somewhat put pressure on it and walk on it, it's not the greatest. I do definitely have a hard time standing for long periods of time. When it comes to walking, I definitely can't walk for long periods of time. My foot sometimes tends to swell, and mind you, this happened in 2022, and it's 2024 now, and I'm not gonna lie, like, as much as the wounds have healed, there's still calluses on my foot. So like I was saying, it's 2024 now. I have, like, it's healing for the most part, and it's not that bad. But when it comes to walking, sometimes if I start to walk for too long, my foot tends to swell. There's times I have phantom pains just out of nowhere. There's times where sometimes like the muscles in my foot just tend to, what's the word? And get inflamed. So at the end of the day, when all the stuff in my foot started getting inflamed, it makes it really uncomfortable, almost even unbearable to walk. So basically, yeah, that happened to me, and through the end of 2022, I spent a good time just recuperating and having my foot heal from the amputations. But basically, in 2023, I tried to start going back to work, and in the midst of that, I got into a car accident.
Now I wasn't at fault, but as I was going through an intersection on a green light, another driver trying to make a left-hand turn happened to hit me. So now I am a little bit paranoid when I'm driving on the road.
Car accident made that whole healing process a little more difficult. So now I have a significant limp, which I still try to work on, getting rid of, and hopefully soon I could get some rehabilitation for it. But at the end of the day, I do have a significant limp, and now comes into how I got my Dualtron Ultra 2. Again, I have a limp, my foot is not the greatest, and in this scenario right now, I happen to have a job where I work with kids. So being a person who works in a daycare, basically I'm constantly with children from the ages of 6 to 12, doing doing activities with them, going outside, planning trips. So like I'm constantly outdoors or on my feet or need to stay mobile. As much as my workplace has been great, I'm not a person that needs to be back at work in a sense. So now that I'm at work, there's certain modifications or, you know, certain things that they can kind of help me with. So like I do have a chair that helps me roll around when I'm in the classroom with the kids. But like as things were happening and I kind of just took it as a joke, I asked my workplace one day, do you guys think you could get me like an electric scooter or something? You know, just nothing big, nothing huge. I just requested my workplace to see if they could accommodate me in some sort of manner to get a scooter. That way, like again, in my workplace, I'm in a school setting, there's long halls that I need to walk down. So for the most part, I just figured if I had an electric scooter to kind of help me get through the halls when I need to go pick up things, that would kind of make my life a little bit easier while I'm at work. Basically, they actually said, yeah, we'll consider it. So they told me to compilate a list and give them a whole bunch of scooters that I might be into. And mind you, at the time when I was looking into scooters and whatnot, and I was asking my workplace if they would even get this for me, I wasn't even trying to ask for much. I didn't want anything big, nothing huge. So I actually did kind of request like a Segway, like, you know, the Segway 9 bots, you know, something small, compact, something that could be ridden throughout the school halls, and if anything, just thrown into my car if need be. So yeah, I formulated my list. I did put a couple other, you know, electric scooters on there. So I did have a Dualtron on there. I put, what's it called? The Wolf King GT. What else did I put on there? I put a regular Segway 9 bot, and I put like 2 other scooters. They weren't as well known, but like they were still decent scooters, little commuter scooters that would get the job done. So basically, like I said, I asked my boss or, you know, one of my managers if this could be done. They said, yeah, sure. So again, I sent them a list. So a week or 2 later, they said, hey, Snipes, at the end of the day, we were able to get you something. And, you know, I'm just like, wow, really? Okay, thank you guys. Cool. And me just trying to be as humble as can be. Like, I'm not going to lie, in my head, I'm ecstatic. I was going to get an electric scooter. Can't believe this. But again, wasn't thinking nothing big. Maybe just something like a 9 bot or something. But at the end of the day, I was just being patient, waiting for it to come in. Maybe about a week and a half later. And again, this is in 2023. So I'm now back at work. I've been working for a couple months now. So this is probably within February or March, I made this request. And then after a little bit of deliberation on their end, they decided to be able to assist me. So once I found that out, by the time I would say June came around, because I would say I had this Dualtron for about a year now, when it was June, I had a scooter. And I was more surprised than anything to see how big the box was. And then to know that they wanted to make sure that whatever scooter I got had off-road tires. So I think that is the main reason as to why I ended up getting the Dualtron Ultra 2 upgrade, is because with me working with kids and whatnot, yeah, my manager was really thinking like, okay, if you really need something to accommodate you while you're at the workplace, then we should think about something that has off-road tires, so when you're outdoor with the children, you're still able to stay mobile and keep up with the kids. We're just like, all right, cool, that sounds great. At the end of the day, I opened up the box, and yeah, that's how I ended up getting this Dualtron Ultra 2 upgrade. So I'm not gonna lie, as thankful as I am and as appreciative as I am, this machine, this scooter, has actually given me like a new lease on just my mobility in a sense. Because now with, you know, having the amputated toes on one foot, it's now in a situation where I'm now kind of considered a person with a disability. So now that I need certain sort of accommodations to kind of help me get around, because it's not as easy, I feel like this is the absolute best thing that the workers will be able to get me something as beautiful as this, as powerful as this. And because it's so powerful, I don't just use it to, you know, for just being at work around the kids and whatnot. Like, I actually use this to commute to work. I actually use this to, you know, just get around from like down the street, maybe make a simple grocery run if need be. So at the end of the day, like, these scooters have been like a blessing to my life, knowing that like my foot and my mobility hasn't been the greatest, and I don't know how soon it's gonna get any better. Just being able to have this Dualtron Ultra upgrade too has been absolutely amazing. So if anybody was really curious as to know why I love this Dualtron so much and why I stay making videos about the Dualtron, is because that's my little backstory as to how I got it. So like I said, as you can imagine, having this Dualtron Ultra 2 upgrade has been a blessing in my life. Like, I honestly and truly can't really thank my workplace enough for being able to get me such a scooter. And honestly, because I have such a scooter, like, I really do truly consider this like my mobility scooter. Knowing how bad my foot is and how hard it is for me to get around, like, this has become my mobility scooter.
Now, would I recommend the Dualtron Ultra 2 upgrade for anybody as a first-time electric scooter rider? No, probably not. But in comparison, I really did think about, when I made this request to my workplace, could I really see myself sitting down in a four-wheel scooter with a chair and feeling like I was kind of confined to this chair and making it almost impossible to kind of move around and keep up with the children that I've been working with? Yeah, that wasn't a plausible option for me. So when I did make the request, I did insist that if I were to get a scooter, or if they were to even consider getting me a scooter, if they could please think about something that I could possibly stand up on. But again, when I did think this or put this request in, I was only thinking something like a 9-bot. Now, the Dualtrons come with seat attachments that you can buy and purchase separately. I still haven't done that yet, but I am looking forward to doing that in the future. I feel like that will make my rides a lot more comfortable, considering that I am standing up right now. Over a long period of time of riding, my foot does tend to hurt. Standing up for a long period of time in the same position kind of take a toll on my feet, where sometimes it starts to get really painful, maybe swell a little bit, or again, even some of the muscles tend to get inflamed. So again, when it comes to standing for long periods of time, like, I'm not gonna lie, I do tend to feel it while I'm riding my scooter, but my scooter is definitely a lot more comfortable than trying to walk certain places or just standing up outside in certain areas, especially if the ground is uneven. So yeah, like, my scooter is quite beneficial when it comes to alleviating some of that pain and that pressure that my feet would endure if I had to go for a walk outside, or if I had to stand up for long periods of time. So again, like I said, the scooter is absolutely a blessing when it comes to my mobility and helping me get around. But once I get a seat, I feel like everything would be a lot better for my foot. But more importantly, again, when it comes to being mobile, I feel like this is a lot of a better improvement than going to like a four-wheel sit-down scooter, which is something that I feel like would mentally kind of make me feel like I'm stuck or confined to the chair, and would eventually make me not as enthused to want to be at work or do certain activities if I need be. Like, if I'm stuck in the chair, there's a good chance that I'm not going to want to get up out of it to do anything else, or even have that motivation to do anything. I would probably be in that mindset where I'd slowly start to become depressed, just knowing that my foot is preventing me from doing all the things that I would love to do. And even though I drive, I much rather prefer riding my scooter if the weather is extremely nice like this. When I'm sitting behind the wheel of a car, my back tends to hurt me a little bit, my lower back. And then I also experience sometimes sciatic pains. And when I experience that, it becomes extremely uncomfortable to drive for a while. And with my foot being the way that it is, honestly, when it comes to putting my foot on the brake or the acceleration, and yeah, like, my foot tends to hurt over time after just pushing on the pedals for
Yeah, like, they just been so amazing in how they were able to help me out, and then again, they were able to get me something a lot bigger than I was even expecting or even anticipating. So yeah, for me, I'm just saying, like, this is how I got the scooter, At the end of the day, in a sense, this is like my mobility scooter. This helps me get around. This helps me have like a new, breath of fresh air, breath of life. Because at the end of the day, with me having slightly mobility issues and whatnot, I'm not gonna lie, it does kind of put like a damper on how I feel about going out places or doing certain things. In the back of my mind, I'm always wondering or curious, like, how is my foot going to, play out about, these excursions that I'm taking? Because for the most part, depending on whatever activity that is that I do, I know that like the most part, my foot can't really hold out. When it comes to having the scooter, like, I thank God, that even with going through the whole predicament in 2022, like, that it wasn't my whole foot. Because again, that was really a scary time. At the end of the day, like, that was quite traumatic. But for the most part, like, at the end of the day, like, I just don't necessarily know how worse it could have gotten. And from hearing what the doctors have said, it definitely could have been worse. But like, at the end of the day, I only ended up losing 2 toes. So like, I'm trying my best to kind of look on the bright side and being able to kind of have my balance and being able to stand on it and put pressure on it. Like, I'm still fortunate and thankful that I'm able to ride something like a scooter or a Dualtron or whatever it may be. So yeah, this is why I kind of have, a new enthusiasm and appreciation for electric scooters. Who knows, maybe in the future I get to ride a couple different more, but like, at the moment, this is why I'm a Dualtron person. And like I said, if it wasn't for my workplace getting me something like this to help me accommodate, I don't know necessarily where I would be right now or how my, quality of life would be. But like, again, I am truly thankful and I am truly grateful that I have something like this. And yeah, it's amazing. Can't believe it. Dualtron Ultra 2 upgrade. So older scooter, but yeah, this thing is a beast. All right, thank you guys for watching. Thank God for life. Thank God for, being able to move and enjoy the things that I'm doing right now today. Thank God for giving me a Dualtron or blessing me with a Dualtron and again, my workplace. And yeah, thank you guys for whoever is watching this content, appreciates why I'm riding the Dualtron and making videos about my Dualtron. But like, at the end of the day, thank you guys. And again, thank God. Because if it wasn't for him, God knows where I'd be right now or how I'd be feeling. So thank everybody who's in my life who blessed me with something like this to, make me appreciate everything that I have and everything that I get to do each day. Thank you guys. Take care and peace out.